deal with airplane peanuts.
Give him a little more.
I hated him. I got heckled immediately. It fucked up my whole set.
What was that going you?
I said I live around here. Some lady goes, "Rich asshole." I was fucking fuming the whole time. I couldn't even think of my bits. It's so weird to bomb and then come outside and people are like, "Oh, you're so funny." And you're like, "Tell them, Norman, you're a funny dude. Yeah, comedy." Timing.
One of the biggest paradoxes when it comes to stand-up comedy is that every funny joke you've heard a comedian deliver on stage has at one point bombed horrifically in front of a live audience.
We were at the Comedy Cellar, and I was like, "I killed in this room, same material, bombed in this room." And Colin Quinn goes, "You never done stand-up before?"
For most comedians, reality is the only way to truly improve a joke is by bombing with it in public over and over.
I'll clean that up. That could be something. On a good crowd, that might work.
And for the second time ever, Mark Normand is pulling the curtain back on his entire joke writing process to show the complete life cycle from conception to perfection in episode 2 of Page to Stage.
It's one of these things I can't believe it's never been done. You know, you always see comedy in a theater with a chandelier and a big, beautiful curtain, and you don't really see the nitty-gritty, how the sausage is not funny. We're doing it, and we just did episode 2, and it's got Steinfeld in it, Gaffigan, Jon Stewart. I mean, we really went all out for this one.
Do you have one comedian, maybe from the past, or a favorite joke of yours that you would love to see a Page to Stage documentary on?
Hey, good question, Fatty. Well, Jim Jeffries has one of the best jokes of all time, I think, about gun control. He hits and he's like pro-gun, anti-gun, the history of guns, what's good about it, what's bad about them, and it just like weaves through so many layers. And that joke, I mean, that must have taken months and months to perfect. How about N-words versus black people?
Yeah.
That would be exciting, just to see that bomb in a black room in the early days. That would be, imagine we had that footage of him just struggling with that. And his brother famously was like, "You got to drop that bit, the black community's gonna hate you," and he stuck it out, and it was like one of the best bits of all time. I mean, some Norm stuff, like Norm would bomb all day long, and then you see his special, and it was killer. So yeah, I mean, there's a million jokes I would have loved to see. Gary Shandling has a joke where he says, "You know, I used to date Miss Georgia." "All right, former Miss Georgia." "All right, it was George Foreman." You're like, that's such a funny job, but you're like, how the hell did you think of that? You know?
That's so stupid that it's so genius.
It's genius, yeah. I'd love to pick his brain on that. I love joke writing, so yeah, we're hoping people dig the episode.
And one of the cool parts about Page to Stage that you provide is we would have seen Chris Rock and his brother having that conversation because there's so many behind the scenes parts in your documentary. That is one of the coolest parts, seeing you guys work on tags, give each other advice. Do you remember at any point in your career the best tag that you've gotten from another comedian that made it in your set?
Ooh, damn. That's a good question. I had a joke in Soup to Nuts, my last Netflix special, where I talked about, I can't remember the actual joke, but it was like special, when they give you the specials at a restaurant, something about like equating that to retarded people. Special. And the joke worked, but then somebody goes, "You should say slow cooked at the end." Like, you know, the kid was slow cooked, and I was like, "Oh, that's not bad." And I tried it, and it crushed, and it made it in the special. So yeah, you never know.
Awesome. Have you ever given someone, maybe coming up in comedy, maybe a bigger comedian, tried to give them a tag and then instantly regretted it?
Yes. It's a dicey move. Like some guys, you know, they got a big ego. They don't like that shit. But I don't know if I should say who, but I gave a guy, he was about to do a Letterman. This is years ago, obviously. And he was killing. And he had one joke that was kind of not working. And I gave him a tag. And I also might have said, that one joke's not really working. How about this? And he was furious. And I was green. I was new. I was just trying to make friends with him. And I think he still hates me to this day. So
oh, wow.
That was Bill Cosby. So I won in the end.
Do you have a favorite New York City venue to test new material?
I gotta say, I mean, the Cellar is great. But the Cellar, you kind of got to bring it. That's like the Mecca. But New York Comedy Club, I run a show there and on every Wednesday, and that's a really good spot to test new and throw shit against the wall. So yeah, that's a good one. Come on out to my show every Wednesday at New York Comedy Club. So let me ask you this, because this is the question that's been racking my brain. You're a comedy fan. Do you think normal people, non-comedy fans, would enjoy seeing this? Is this interesting at all to the layman, to the regulars?
I think it's super interesting. I think, well, I always think like even on like when you and Sam are going on a rant and then going, oh, this is too much inside baseball. I'm going, this is all I'm looking for is inside baseball to me.
Yeah, but you're a special case.
I think the most interesting parts for fans to see is like the in-between part. It's almost like a surprise cameo every single time another comedian walks in. It's like when, you know, a character would come over on like another Nickelodeon show and it's like, oh my gosh, there's that guy.
Right.
And when the jokes wouldn't go well, that's, I think, the most interesting part to see, because everyone knows that you are a good comedian. We've seen you, usually the only times we see you is you're doing really well. So it's not like we're gonna see one joke not go well and be like, oh, he's not funny. It's like, now we get to know, well, what's the crowd like? Is he testing this? Did he flip it at the angle on this? Like, I think it's more interesting to see it not go well, and then you talk about it with your peers after.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, if you like that, you're in luck, because this is a lot of bombing, a lot of squirming, a lot of flop sweat. I mean, it's ugly. There's one point where Shane is there, and he's like, I was about to give up on the bit, and he's like, no, there's something there, and that kept me going. So just these little things will really boost your confidence, because it is through the floor when you're working on new material.
So how do you know when it's time to give up, or is that just part of the job?
Yeah, I think that's part of the job. I think as a comedian, our real skill is you just kind of know. You have this sixth sense of like, there's something here. I can feel it. You know, Seinfeld calls it the toe tingle moment, where you're in the shower and you're like, I got something. And even if you can't get it to work on stage, that just probably means you're saying it wrong or you're not articulating it right. So sometimes it's just a matter of figuring out the way to say it, or the order, or the inflection. That's why you got to run it a million times.
You just had a kid. Congratulations.
Hey, mazel tov.
Have you written any new dad jokes? Is there a lot of material? You hear comedians all the time, you know, you're so much material from having a kid and a family. Is that the case so far?
I didn't believe it. Everybody's like, you're going to get a ton of material. And you also don't want to be the dad guy. You don't want to be the dad comic, you know? You know, people are always like showing you pictures of their kids. You're like, show me a picture of your wife. You know, I don't care about your kid. But so you don't want to be that guy. Yeah. So I'm trying, I got about 10 new minutes on the baby, and I'm trying to keep it not beer goggles baby, you know, like, I love him, he's great. So it's still got some edge, it's still fun. And yeah, it does give you a ton of material. So that is a true cliche.
That's awesome. Maybe Page to Stage 3 will be full of baby material. But
Ooh.
Thank you for your time today, Mark. Anything else that you want the Joke World subscribers to know about? Any dates, social medias, Page to Stage, all that good stuff?
Yeah, hit the pod. Page Stage is on Punch Up Live, so go to that, punchuplive.com. Bill Burr's on there now. I mean, Louie's on there. It's really blowing up. So Whitney, Sam, Joe List, blah, blah, the list goes on. So yeah, check out Punch Up. All my tickets are on there. Come see me on the road, the 2 podcasts, and yeah, praise Allah.
Let's go. Thank you, Mark.
Comedy.
Guest spots from last week. The Joe Rogan Experience sat down with Ron White, Gary Brecka, and hosted the Dave Smith, Douglas Murray debate. The Duncan Trussell Family Hour had on Daryl Cooper. Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast was Just the Dogs. Two Bears, One Cave was Bert and Tom, Tom and Bert. Jim Gaffigan stopped by We Might Be Drunk. Harland Williams took his shoes off. Kareem Ramah visited Stavi's World. Aaron Weber made an appearance on Whiskey Ginger. Kevin Bacon broke bread with Tom Papa. Triple H was a guest on Flagrant. Mike Rainey stopped by Duderag and the Deer Tag. Paul Walter Hauser was on Are You Garbage? And the very first episode of Andrew Santino's new golf podcast, No Bad Lies, came out with guest number 1, Cam Smith.
Long ball, whoever outdrives the other one, $100. Cash.
Okay.
And I don't take Venmo or any of that other stuff, so it's got to be cash. $100.
You got a wedge.
I'm going to switch it out. This is just for balance.
Yeah,
it's like a cane for me.
I'm actually quite nervous. I've never played golf with a shitty comedian before.
Oh, wow, dude.
I've played golf with plenty of good ones. But...
Okay. The guy gets the C, gets the captain, and he thinks he's the top dog. Not bad. Not bad at all.
I'll take that.
That's pretty good.
Kevin Hart visited this past weekend. Sarah Wineshank was on the way back. Gene Simmons was on Burtcast. Story Wars was a battle between Keith Robinson, Rachel Feinstein, and Drew Montana. Fitzdog Radio featured Caroline Ray. You Know What Dude had on Rosebud Baker. Sydney Rose Miller was on R.I.P. Jordan Jensen. Emma Willman was on You Be Trippin'. Questlove was on Working It Out. The Tim Dillon Show, The Solid Show, History Hyenas, Camp Gagnon, Bad Friends, Legion of Skanks, and Burbs Bros all did not have guests. And we interviewed Kill Tony Netflix bucket poll comedian Maddie Stu right here on Joke World. As far as new stand-up comedy specials that are either out right now or coming out soon, Tim Dillon, I'm Your Mother is out right now on Netflix. Also out on Netflix is Chelsea Handler, The Feeling, along with Killer Be Killed. And out on YouTube is Trey Kennedy, Grow Up. We also have a few specials in the works right now that will be coming out soon. Starting on April 25th with Jessica Kierson, I'm the Man, which will be out on Hulu. On May 6th, David Spade, Dandelion premieres on Prime Video. May 20th, Sarah Silverman, Postmortem will be out on Netflix. One day after that, on May 21st, Joe List's Small Ball will debut in theaters all across the country, which is really cool. And on May 26th, Mike Birbiglia, The Good Life, comes out on Netflix. But other than that, go check out Page to Stage 2 right now on Punch Up if you want to see the full half-hour documentary. The link to watch that will be down below in the description, but real quick, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video, especially to everyone who's press subscribed and helped build this channel into a place that we can interview guys like Mark Normand. It's very cool, and I really appreciate it. We also have a few bonus clips from the Mark interview available right now on the Joke World Patreon for anyone interested in that. But if not, no worries. We'll be back again next week with another comedy news update right here on the main channel. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, our second channel, Clip World, all that good stuff as well. And like I said, thank you for watching.